Hey, joining us now on the Marmy Rock Show. Been a long time since I saw these guys. It's James and Gian from Daybreak Embrace. They're out of South Florida. They've got a new album coming out. They got a great new music video out. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so I mean, last time I think it might be the last time I literally saw you was on Shiprock, but I think we've talked since then, so I want to catch up a little bit. Let's start with the new music video, man. Tell me a little bit about what the new music video is and the making of it.
Well, the music video, we thought it'd been a while since everyone had seen our faces, plus we had a bit of a regrouping that had to happen within the past couple years, so we thought it time that everyone sees the new members and finally gets a feel for what we're doing. We've been working really hard at these songs, and we hadn't been working too hard at showing everybody our pretty faces, you know what I mean?
Or ugly faces, whichever you prefer.
Now, let me first, two things there. First, introduce us to your new band members, so tell us about the new band members first, then we'll talk a little bit more about the video.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, as time goes with bands that have been together as long as us, we had to part ways with our two guitar players. So now we have a new rhythm guitar player. His name's Anthony Parinello. Everyone might know him from a band called Scars of Life. They were pretty big down here in South Florida for a little while. And then we've got another young cat. His name's Eric Estrada. Not from Chips.
Yeah.
And he's our new lead guy. Brings a little more metal influence into the whole mix. He's a bit of a wild card on the shredding,
yeah.
So it's bringing a new dynamic to the band. It's actually pretty fun.
I'll bet Eric never gets tired of the Chips jokes, does he?
I think his Instagram is like not Eric Estrada from Chips or something like that.
So, hey, let's dive into the music video just a little bit more for maybe folks that haven't seen it yet. Tell us a little bit about the vibe of the video, and you got some acting going on in there and a little bit of everything. Tell us about it.
Right. Well, first I got to say this was a self-produced budget film, so I thought we did pretty decent. The first time we actually took on this whole task by ourselves.
I mean, if you can believe it, it was all aside from live shots, it was all shot in James's kitchen.
Yeah, we did. And so, we just made do with what we could. We just wanted to kind of, with the song, we just kind of wanted to put a vibe with like the casino vibe. The song's called Under the Ace. So we thought, what better than to do a little casino vibe and put some nice duds on and let everybody know that we're not just we're not just rockers. We can actually clean up nice too.
So, man, folks are going to want to know about this. There's a Facebook post out there tempting us with the upcoming album, which I believe is coming out in just a couple weeks. So, what can you tell us about the new album at this point?
Well, again, we're over here self-producing it. We've been working on a lot of these songs for, I could say, the better part of, 4 or 5 years now. They've just been kind of in the folders, begging to see the light of day. Plus, now with the new members and, new influences of how everybody plays, we were able to, put a couple new songs together. Plus, with Gian and I writing basically the sole writers right now, we were able to kind of explore a couple different avenues when it came to our musical choices. Not saying we were pigeonholed before, but there's a little more freedom with the new lineup, so we were able to really explore and go out of our comfort zone to bring some different textures to everybody for the Daybreak music, which we've always wanted to do, but this one we were finally able to.
We actually can make it happen.
Yeah, and we were able to, get a whole 10-song album done with it. We're actually going to revisit a couple of the songs from our past single releases. We Rise is going to be on this album too, and as well as Ramsey's from our Trace of Light album. But we have a new mastering guy, so basically we mixed them a little better, and we got this new mastering guy on them, got them sounding really nice. We're really excited for everyone to hear them.
Well, and James, he downplays himself because he's the guy, he's the producer-engineer for this whole album.
So, how would you describe the change? I'm guessing a little change in style in what you told me there. How would you describe that to people? Like, how has it evolved in style or changed?
Well, the evolution of the sound was already happening all these years through, and it didn't necessarily change as much as it evolved and actually spread more wide open to what we were comfortable with doing. Like with bands, a lot of times everyone kind of expects them to have their the first album feel on every album after that, and I don't really think that's the way we look at this. We want to show everybody that we love so much different types of music and so many different bands, that we love taking influence from everywhere and everyone, and we didn't want to just be the original Daybreak. We wanted to be the original Daybreak, but as an evolved band. 10 years in this, and we've learned so much about songwriting and so much about what we can do as as a band. And, we don't have a big label breathing down our throat saying we can or can't. So that's one of the big pluses that we have.
Yeah, man. So, hey, it looks like you have a couple live shows just around the corner. Do you want to talk about any of those shows at all that are coming up?
Well, we're going to be up in, I think it's like Lake Worth, right? For around Halloween time on the 26th of October.
Green Acres.
Green Acres, yeah, it's like
the place to be.
Yeah, Green Acres.
You guys have all the 80s shows. Well, there was an 80s show. You got all the the TV shows nailed down. You got Eric Estrada, Green Acres.
Yeah, Green Acres.
Right?
We're a wholesome band.
I find a theme happening. Maybe that's what we're going to do for Halloween. We're going to dress Eric up as Chips. So, we got one at Piper's up there in Green Acres. That's on the 26th. And then we're actually going to do our CD, not CD release. Nobody releases CDs anymore. We're going to do our album release on November 15th. And that's going to be right here in our home court in Coral Springs. You can look all this up online. We've got them all posted up so far. So if you want to just head over to our Instagram and Facebook page, you can find all the information there. Yeah, and on the 15th, that's going to be a 10-year anniversary show. So we're really excited to get everybody back on the floor, and we've actually got a guitar ready to give away. We're going to sign a guitar, and we're going to give away a guitar, and try to celebrate it the right way.
So you leaked a little bit of the album cover artwork, and man, I'm a big fan of the crow and the birds, man. Tell me a little bit about what you can about the meaning of the album cover.
Well, it was the album cover was the first album, Tomorrow Waits, that we came out with. It was the crow behind the glass of the building looking out into the city. So we always liked, it was like, well, it's more of a raven from what we're told.
Yeah.
So, and want to get specific, but it's a raven looking out at the city. And then it was the Mercury album was the like brother and sister looking out at, and this is like when all like the dubstep and all that stuff was coming out. So they're kind of looking out into the change because all the electronics start now. It's actually filtering into all rock and metal and all that stuff. So then this third one, it's the bird is finally out into the city, and this is why it's called Culmination. It's the culmination of everything that we've done, all put into one.
I love it, man, and I'm a big fan of the crow or the raven. They're pretty close birds to each other, anyway, you want to slice it, but and it's an interesting reference too, because you guys being in South Florida, man, the electronic music was I don't know if it still is, but it was huge at one point down there. I'm pretty sure in South Florida. So
huge.
Yeah, with Ultra Festival coming down here, the dubstep and Club Space and a lot of the places that focus on that stuff, it's not going to die out anytime soon down here.
So I never let a shiprock band on the show without asking them to reflect back and just hear a little bit of. We tend to be on our 10th shiprock, in February. We reflect back a little bit on the shiprock experience.
I couldn't walk straight for about 4 days. I'd be in the shower and have to hold the walls before I fell down. I don't know. It was really weird because that was the first cruise I had ever been on. So what an honor, to be on my first cruise and actually get to play a show. That's why we do this. We just love being on stage and love playing, especially when it's surrounded by so many iconic acts. We would love to get back on the boat, but they've been going out of Texas these last couple of years. It's kind of hard for us to get over to Texas, so we haven't really even pushed it. But, for me, it was just being able to even say that we were on that boat with these guys. It was something that launched our career massively after that. We got so many followers and so many fans from that.
That's how I found you, honestly. Truthfully.
Right, and we felt like part of the family after that. We now became part of the Shiprock family, part of the brotherhood that is all of these bands that have played before and after us.
Yeah, man. So, it's like I said, it's how I found you guys. And so I want to ask you about a song that goes back a long way. And you guys have created so much great music, but I still love this tune. It goes so far back as Desperation from Mercury. It's still one of my favorite songs by you guys. I'd love to hear like a little bit more about that tune. If there is anything more to share about it, I don't know.
That tune, I mean, yeah, you're right on the note of that was always one of my favorite songs as well. And we do try to incorporate it in our sets. It was us trying to branch out into a more vibey notion, because with that album, there's Severed and there's No Scars, and everything's a little more, in your face and a lot of rock and guitar riffs and whatnot. So we needed a way to put a little bit of dynamics in the album, and that was one that had been in the demo reels for so long, man. We passed it over and passed it over and passed it over, and then when it came to needing a little dynamics on that album particularly, we said, that'd be a good way to kind of break it up. And with the help of Paul Trust, our producer, it became such a beautiful song.
What's the meaning? But not the meaning. I know like bands like us to make our own meaning out of songs, but I guess that better question is, what's the inspiration? It's kind of a sad but hopeful song at the same time.
Yeah, me as the singer, being the lyricist, for me, it really took on, a lot of my past experience with not just, one relationship, but a culmination of different relationships that you find yourself in certain situations that you're forcing to happen simply because you feel that you have to force them to happen. And, that was where, you can say drowning in our desperation, like we were so desperate to make things work that even if we were toxic for each other, even if things were toxic around us, we were so desperate to make it work that we drowned in our own desperation. And that's where the inspiration came from me, because so many people find themselves in situations where they shouldn't be in. They should be, they should be free, and they should, stay true to their own self, and yet they choose to just stay with people or stay with situations that, they're not healthy. Yeah, and they should, understand that you'll drown in it. You'll just, you'll go down with the ship.
It's just like a captivating song. I've always found it to be. It's just one I just find myself hitting the repeat button on. And I don't do that a lot. So
thank you. That's awesome.
So hey, before I let you go, man, I want to know this and everybody else going to know. Any prospects for a tour? I know it's expensive. I know it's tough. Any hopes for a tour in the near future?
Well, this all depends on how well received this album is, I suppose. 'Cause, we would love to. We would love to get everything set and get on the road again. It's just going to matter on how much we can pull together with this album, how well the sales do, and how supportive the fan base becomes,
Well, we're certainly hoping for a tour, man. I'd love to see you guys live again. And I'm going to encourage folks to go over to check out Daybreak Embrace on all the social medias. Check out their new Under the Ace music video. And is it official? Is 10/13 the release date on the new record? Is that like the real deal?
That's the real deal. It's the full moon. It's the 13th of October. It all feels right.
That's it.
And it's the band's 10-year anniversary, so go out and support them. They're a fantastic band out of South Florida, Daybreak Embrace. And James and John, man, I really appreciate you guys being here on the show tonight.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you having us.